That was Erica Stapleton reporting. It's time now to get you up to speed on the stories developing right now. A Valley man is in custody tonight, suspected of shooting someone in West Phoenix. Police believe 29-year-old Fausto Galindo Gonzalez was at a house party Friday night on McDowell Road and 62nd Avenue. Gonzalez told police he was hanging out with the victim when the victim mishandled a gun and shot himself. Investigators believe the gun belongs to Gonzalez. He was arrested and booked for manslaughter. A Flagstaff police officer is recovering after an aggressive driver rammed into the officer's patrol car 3 separate times. Several witnesses called 911 around 2 p.m. to report a man trying to start fights with other people in a parking lot. When officers arrived, they say the suspect was driving erratically and hit a light pole and a building. Another officer showed up to help when the suspect rammed that officer's patrol car head-on. The suspect crashed into the patrol car 2 more times before being arrested. The driver, 23-year-old Jared Bigman, faces several charges, including aggravated assault. One person is dead and another is in the hospital after a shooting at a Mesa sports bar. Mesa police say the shooting happened at O'Kelly's Sports Bar and Grill around 3 a.m. One victim was pronounced dead at the scene. The other victim was taken to the hospital. We do not know his condition at this time. And now you're up to speed.